So, the journey commences through vast tracts of New Zealand, where thousands of well-trained sheep hid behind bushes on cue. Or else dressed up as urukai. A flock of well-rehearsed stunt sheep, dressed as evil crows, forces the party to hide beneath some method-acting sheep dressed as rocks. Film Gandalf now proves himself a bit worse at planning ahead than Book Gandalf, and, with the Gap of Rohan closed, suggests they climb over the top of that great big mountain there. 10,000 acrobatic sheep from the Christchurch Circus, well disguised. Needless to say, this plan is crap too. Scottish Ginger Gimli suggests that they go through Moria. Phil Moria is nearby and, to the knowledge of the company, appears to be comfortably settled by friendly dwarves, with no suggestion of contact having been lost years ago. This worries Gandalf, if only because he can't stand the thought of all those unconvincing Scots accents. Way the new see you, Gimli! Kiss my axe, pal! Fortunately, all the faux Scots dwarves have been killed by faux Cockney orcs. Watch a gov, how you like a great big sausage roll up the old apples and pears. At the gates of Moria, the Watcher in the Water attacks, and Aragorn gives a brief demonstration of sashimi dough, Japanese martial cooking techniques, while Gandalf plugs his stuff in to recharge. The party enters the great dwarven city of Dwarrodelf, which consists entirely of huge, solid pillars. What the city full of dwarves did around these huge pillars, history does not relate. Perhaps they played a lot of hide and seek. Gollum's arms have escaped Barad-dûr and now, along with his eyeballs, are tracking the party. Gollum is clearly a character of many parts. The guys kill a lot of goblins and a baby troll, but Gandalf is unhappy with his sword, Glamdring, which is meant to glow just like Frodo's swords sting when orcs are about. Maybe the batteries need charging. Disturbed by this, Gandalf is not at his peak when he is apparently attacked by a giant flaming goat. The Balrog is upset because someone dropped a dead dwarf in a bucket in his mug of cocoa. They fight, the bridge collapses. Gandalf's last words are, rather ironically, "Fly, you fools," as he exits, stage downwards, flapping vaguely. Boromir asks for a moment to mourn, but Aragorn, realising that the movie has to finish in 3 hours, or the audience will all be dead of deep vein thrombosis before next year's sequel, hurries them on. Lothlorien and Galadriel, who spends a lot of time looking at people sideways, as if she were part chicken. She whispers stuff inside everyone's head to make them feel comfortable and relaxed, presumably, and then takes Frodo off to look in her mirror, although she doesn't explain why. Frodo looks in and sees terrible visions of the burning of the Shire, 2 movies and 1,000 filming hours away. Not surprisingly, he faints. Galadriel says very wisely, "I know what you saw." And she's somewhat surprised when Frodo says that he didn't see an elf woman in white looking at him sideways and smirking. "It's funny," says Galadriel. "That's what I always see." Frodo, overwhelmed by her beauty, offers her the ring. Galadriel turns inside out and does a bit of Mongolian throat singing, and Frodo escapes while she's trying to recover from the coughing fit. The company proceeds down the great river Anduin, completely ignoring the traffic signals of the Argonath, which clearly told them to stop. They are tracked down at Parthgalan by the Uruk-hai traffic police. Boromir tries to take the ring from Frodo, and the ring displays yet another trick. Even though Boromir has hold of Frodo, when the ring is put on, he apparently becomes intangible for a second or two. Just long enough to wriggle away and kick Boromir on his hereditary Gondorian proboscis. Frodo then meets Aragorn, who weighs up the dangers of travelling 250 miles through enemy territory and bravely lets Frodo go on his own. He turns to fight the Uruk. The Uruk-hai seem almost incapable of using their swords correctly. It's not surprising when you consider most of them were only born a week ago. Aragorn gleefully carves his way through this band of heavily armoured toddlers, using his remade kingly sword. This sword has been repaired after being broken for 2,000 years. Elven warranties are well worth the extra $30. Boromir proves to be the unlucky one yet again. Not only does he meet the only Uruk who remembers to bring a bow, but the only one who knows how to use any weapon at all. The big bad orc drills 3 arrows in tight formation into Boromir's upper chest and gives forth the ancient traditional Uruk cry, 180! Boromir's bass kazoo is cloven. This leaves Merry and Pippin. The other Uruk, finally, relieved at having someone tiny to beat up someone tiny. The big bad orc then takes about 2 minutes to draw the bow, sportingly giving Aragorn time to swing in and save the day. Big bad orc gets his head chopped off, much cheering. Aragorn, rather patiently, listens to Boromir's dying rant. He appears to be quoting Walt Whitman at one point, but it all comes good, well, except for Boromir, who, true to his luck, dies. They put him in a boat and send him over Araros, and later we find that his body stayed in the boat all the way down. It's lucky that Gimli packed his staple gun. At this point, Gimli cracks his first smile, a premonition of things to come in the second movie, The Two Towers, which relates the union of Barad-dûr and Orthanc. The Two Towers... Song! Now, you've got a bit in this. You're going to like this. You've got a singing bit. And a dancing bit. Oh, I hear you say. I'll teach the singing bit first. You're all going to be orcs, right? So I want lots of orcish attitude. And the only orcish word I know off the top of my head is Nazgul. So you will all sing Nazgul like this. Nazgul, 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 Nazgul. Nazgul, Nazgul. Got it. Doesn't matter if you don't finish at the right time because you're orcs. And you know, you can't count past 2, so that's all right. Yeah, you count it, for those socio-musico-ethnicologist orcs in the audience, you count this 1 too many lots. Okay, you get the hang of it.